Hey there, it's Dior, and you might know me from the Discord as I essentially carry the entire community on my back. And I decided to make a couple videos just explaining a bunch of information that people often ask for, even though it's already written clearly and linked in the FAQ. Because I'm just trying to build a more solid, friendly community that's a lot more inclusive. So obviously, I have to help out my visually impaired community members who have trouble reading the FAQ. So I really don't have any kind of script except for this little intro, because honestly you guys do not deserve that much of my time. But I'm just going to really just spew out a bunch of info as we go through. And this video will mostly just be revolving around what the PS15, pre-sale 15, and PD1/PD52, and those are interchangeable really. The official term is now PD1. And I'm just really going to be talking about how they went, how they worked, and how you can get ready to participate in the next drop, which is happening in around late October / like early November. And there isn't any exact date as of when I'm recording this, which is the middle of August, because it's like 2 months away, and 2 months in the NFT space is like 2 years of fiat time. So you just got to deal with it. Just wait. So what I'm going to be really going through here is this article that is in the FAQ done by the Yunt Capital guys, and thank you to them for making this. And thank you for the mods for finally posting this in the FAQ after I told them like 3 weeks ago. So that's really nice of them. But yeah, so let's get started here. Regarding the PS15, it was a sale that happened here, as you can see, March 25th, and there was 15 cards, 5 card backs, and 8 art pieces. At the time of the sale, there was around 250 of us who bought into it, were essentially just buying the standard cards at these prices here, and I'll just zoom in here so you can see better. So you saw it was around from 0.025 up to 0.5, and then you had the 2 auction cards here, First Son of Mars and the Priming. And First Son of Mars, only one of them is currently public, if I'm not mistaken, and there's one supposedly being held for Elon Musk, and then the 3 others will be probably sent out in future pack drops. And then the Priming was also auctioned off, and it originally sold for 26 ETH. And it's owned by, I think, Ultra Paradise. And so once we bought into this, some people were kind of mentioning how, for example, like these legendaries like Neutron Bomb and Kithtrexamine, there's about I think 50 to 60 buyers for those. But as you can see, the total edition size was 500. So people were kind of wondering, later on when these are released, which the legendaries and rares have been re-released in PD1, people were really just wondering, are we going to be compensated for that? Because by the time, all 500 are released, the prices of our standard ones are just going to dump completely. And the solution to that, the team came up with 2 things. One was the Prime keys, in which for each card you bought, you were given 1 Prime key. And the other thing was the SE versions, which is the special editions, which are essentially just hollow cards. There's essentially 1 SE version for each card minted during the pre-sale. And if you can see here, these are kind of the numbers of how many of each were bought here. So you have ones like Orbital Strike, which I think is a rare, but it had only 39 mints, which I think is the lowest one. Yeah, it is the current lowest one. And these aren't ever going to change, which is why you will see a huge discrepancy in the prices of these SEs versus the PD1 versions. Well, not versions, but PD1 cards. And again, we have the card backs, which are, as you can see, these are like 10 to 15 copies of each, whereas the PD1 card backs are 100 of each. So yeah, that's really it for PS15. Actually, well, I guess I can just quickly show you what they all look like here. So yeah, so if you want to find them on OpenSea, you can just search by oldest, and it'll show you all 15 of them. So you have these four, these four, these four, these two, and then I think Son of Mars is a little bit lower right here. If it would load, there we go. So that's all 15 of them right here, and as you can see, compared to a lot of the PD1 cards, they're priced a little bit higher. And for example, something that I did want to mention was right here for Neutron Bomb. If this dog shit website would work, thank you. If you see, back when these were first minted here, you know, they're about how much we paid, and there wasn't many sales. As you can see, the volume's really low. But right here at PD1, you can see like your July 30, July 31st, you just see a big tank in price, which is because, you know, before PD1, there was only like 50 of these. And once PD1 happened, I think there's, let's see how many total there are now. Yeah, so there's only 36 left to be released. But there is, again, still 36 of them, which will be released in the next drop, and maybe more in the next drop, but probably most of them will be gone in this PD2. But you'll also notice that for a card like Revitalizing Growth, which is an uncommon, if we take a look at it real quick, well, essentially what you'll see is that the price on this one hasn't dipped as much as Neutron Bomb did, essentially because, as you can see, like you see this graph, it's completely different. And this is honestly artificial price raising for no reason. Yeah, like there's still only 58 owners and there's 10K total, and that's because during PD1, which I'll be explaining soon, there weren't any commons or uncommon standards that were released. But we can expect to see them very likely in PD2 and beyond. And I'll explain that here when I'm talking about PD1. So as we come down to here. So for PD1, the idea was that there were 3 different types of packs: core packs, enhanced packs, and premium packs, and this is the number of each. And their prices were 0.01, sorry, 0.1 and 0.2 going this way. And you can see that the idea was there's these tiers, these 4 tiers, and you had a chance at all these different types of cards. And you can even see that even in a tier 4, you have a slight chance at an epic here. So you can get a masterpiece. A lot of people pulled masterpieces from tier 4s, prime keys, catalyst drives, art cards, card backs. And again, some people have asked this. Card backs are essentially just the back of your card. So like in game when you're playing, the back of your card will just look different. My guess is that in game probably the base look is just a normal, you know, the 2 pills, the yellow pills. So if we kind of look at these, the core pack, which was for 0.01, gave you 3 items from tier 4 and 1 from tier 3. So you can see essentially what you were paying for. And then enhanced gave you 2 from tier 3, 1 from tier 2, and the premiums gave you 1 from tier 1. And you're thinking, oh, you know, only 1, but you literally have a 50% chance of getting an epic, which is essentially, again, masterpiece, prime key, catalyst drive. And like literally the cheapest thing that you could have gotten was just the legendary SEs. And if you look at the market right now for them, like the cheapest selling one is at least like 3 to 4 ETH. So, you know, as long as you were holding, like you made a bunch of money on that, honestly. And essentially the idea is, the way it worked was on the parallel.life website right here. All you need to do is have an account, and at the time of the drop, which last time was 5 p.m. EST, the main Twitter account will post a link to a page on the parallel.life website where you would essentially reserve a specific number of packs, and the max for PD1 was 3 of each. And you would reserve them, and that would go through the website. It wasn't through the blockchain, so you weren't just minting them right then and there. All the cards were pre-minted by the team, and essentially you were reserving, and within 24 hours you would get an email asking you to pay, and as long as you did that within a certain window, you would then be able to open your packs. So the whole purpose of this essentially was to avoid a gas war, which a lot of people were first complaining about, because they were afraid that there was going to be a huge gas war, because the PD1 drop was very hyped, and it sold out very quickly within seconds. And again, this reservation system helped fight against bots as well. So we had little to no bot purchases to worry about. It's just a bunch of hype. So, you just got to be fast. I don't really know what else to say there. So here, if we look at the inventory, this is essentially just talking about how many were held back for future drops. So you can see here for common SE, uncommon SEs, this many were put in PD1, whereas this number, this held back number, is essentially how many are still being held. Like if you saw that neutron bomb that I showed you earlier, there's like 36 left, which is a standard legendary. Those are being held for the future drops, which is again like PD2 and beyond. And yeah, as you can see, like this is the general edition size for all the different SEs, and this only applies to PD1 and beyond. The PS15 SEs all have their own specific edition sizes. And again, the way to if you want to participate in the future drop, which again is in late October, all you have to do is just have an account on the parallel.life website, link your wallet, and just so you know, the Brave browser doesn't really work well. So if you're having issues, make sure you're not on Brave. Just be on Chrome and use like MetaMask. And as long as you do that, just follow the main Twitter account, which is at Parallel NFT, if I'm not mistaken. And there will just be information put out prior to the drop saying, when it is and what to expect. And, you can take it from there. And the prices for the packs haven't been released. We don't know if it's going to be similar or the same, like the tier system, the 4 tiers. We don't know if there's going to be different ones. None of that all of that is subject to change. So, again, just be looking out for more information on the Twitter and also on the Discord. And I also have, again, actually I can go quickly through the PD52, or PD1, sorry, set. And I actually have a set list for both PS15 and PD1. I have a set list for both of those on my Twitter, so you can go check those out. It'll be linked in the description. And yeah, so these are just basically all the standards. If you just want to remember, these are the standards. Most of these are PD1, but as you can see, some of these, Cytokinesis and Orbital Strike, they're really cheap, and they were from PS15, but again, they were minted again in PD1, which is what caused their drop in price. And as you can see, the floor now is 0.11, which is honestly crazy, because right at the start of the drop, the floor was about 0.02 or 0.03. So, it's multiplied by 5 since then. But yeah, I think that's all I really wanted to say here for this video. I'll have a bunch more coming out soon here. I'm recording them right now, all together. I have a final tomorrow, but here I am recording these videos. What can I say? Again, carrying this entire community on my back. But yeah, thank you for watching, and look out for the next videos. Thanks.